Everybody understand that? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's order of operations, right? Good. You know how we start with parentheses and we go down to exponents, then we multiply or divide, then we add or subtract? So we're essentially going down, right? Really, when you solve, anytime you're solving, you're really going the other way. What I mean by that is, instead of starting with parentheses and exponents and multiplying and dividing, you really start with add or subtracting first, and you work your way up. Let me show you an example. Let's say, this is not a one-step equation, but let's say we have this, and we want to solve for x, right? What would you do first? Would you multiply or divide? What would you do first?
Add the 2x.
Add 5 to both sides.
I would add 5 to both sides. Why would I do that first?
To get the x alone.
Yeah, because the whole point of solving is to get x by itself. Okay? So it's always easier to go with add or subtracting first, then work your way up to multiply or divide, then worry about the exponent, then worry about the parentheses. Your first step here would be to add 5 to both sides. Right? And you'd be left with the 2x is equal to 7. Now what would you do? Well, of course, you would divide both sides by 2. And you could just leave this as a fraction. It doesn't matter. Right? I just want you to see that you're still kind of using those order of operations. You're just going about it the opposite way. Okay? It's always easier to always add or subtract first when you're solving. Because technically you could divide both sides by 2 to begin with, but it just would be, it'd get a little hairy. Okay? So it's always easier to, of course, add or subtract first when you solve. Instead of going down, you're going up in terms of the. That's fine. You can put it on anything. Okay. Let's say if I had this, how would I solve this equation? It's one step, pretty simple. Yeah, that's a positive 3. I need to get c by itself, so pretty simple. All I'll do is minus 3 from both sides. When you do this on that left side, 3 plus minus 3 cancels out. And then you're left with c equals 1. Okay? Simple. Always do the opposite to get it over to the other side. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Let's say if I had c minus 3 equals 4. What would I do? I'd add 3 to both sides. That left side would cancel out, and this would become c is equal to 7. Basic stuff. Let's say if I had this, how would I get rid of the 2? Yeah.
Multiply both sides by 2.
Yeah, if c is being divided by 2, just do the opposite. What's the opposite of division? It's multiplication. So you would multiply both sides by 2. By doing that, you cancel out that 2 underneath that c. And this would become c is equal to 12. Basic. Always just do the opposite. Let's say if I had 3 times c is equal to 4. How would I solve for c? You would divide both sides by 3. By doing that, it cancels out that left side, and c is going to be equal to 4 over 3. You can leave it as a fraction. That's fine. Basic one-step equations. Okay? Easy enough, right?